2 years ago, I introduced myself in Paris by saying that I was the man who had accompanied Mrs. Kennedy to Paris. I'm getting somewhat that same sensation as I travel around Texas.
Here is a special bulletin from Dallas, Texas.
President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally shot from ambush.
He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot.
Very nearly everyone you encounter today is an incipient journalist. In the 50 years since President John Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, technology has put a sophisticated imaging and recording device into the hands of almost literally everyone. In 1963, such was not the case. A relative handful of enthusiasts owned home movie cameras, the use of which was mostly confined to family events like birthday parties. Dallas businessman Abraham Zapruder went a bit further on that November morning. He brought his Bell & Howell Zoomatic 8mm movie camera with him to work across the street from Dealey Plaza. He was one of the few to have a movie camera with him as the president's motorcade passed. He was the only one to be in position to capture history.
I was on the corner, and the Newmans were across and down a little ways, and Zapruder was up from them on the top of the hill, shooting down.
The Zapruder film was not immediately shown to the public.
We had the Zapruder film. We had it, and Mike Shapiro, the general manager, looked at it and said, "I don't think we ought to put that on the air."
Nevertheless, journalism was never to be the same. From that moment, to cover a story meant more than just to tell about it after the fact. The public expected to see it happen. It was in November 1963 that newspapers surrendered their status as the top practitioners of news gathering. What Kennedy started during his campaign, he finished in the days following his death.
He was very bright, and he was articulate, and he was the first president to understand the modern media. And by the modern media, I mean, frankly, television.
Television began its reign as the prime deliverer of news.
That day and that weekend, the Friday of the killing, by 6 o'clock that night, I think the survey showed that 96 to 98% of all TV sets owned in the United States were on and stayed on. And it was the birth of electronic journalism.
3 Days in Dallas is underwritten by Christian Brothers Automotive and is a production of News Talk 600 KTBB and KTBB.com. I'm Paul Gleiser.